you get when you combine two childhood friends who have never grown up, have an unhealthy competitive streak, and always think they're the funniest people in the room? You get the Unfunniest podcast!
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Well, now, we call this the act of mating.
Yeah, we don't want to do anything to scare your children.
Hey everybody, welcome back again. Episode 14, Michael. I can't believe it. 14 episodes. We passed the teenage years.
I was going to say we're two episodes into the teenage years of the podcast.
Absolutely. It's we appreciate everybody.
James.
Yeah. So everybody, we're just going to do the hashtag Where's Jimmy? Apparently Jimmy was feeling a little under the weather. It's no excuse. You can get on the camera. If somebody sees you puke, that's going to go viral. Think about how great that would be. So
it's the same thing during the Panthers game. Everybody was asking where Jimmy was. Where's Jimmy?
Absolutely. You get all Mike and Mark in this episode tonight. So we got a few things to talk about right off the bat. Maybe I was wrong. I said before the All-Star break, maybe it was just that, you're looking forward to that vacation time, and maybe that's why they had 4 straight losses, but then 2 losses against Texas, and it basically took a tremendous performance by Scoobal last night to save them, and then they're still down, 3-0 right now to Pittsburgh.
Yeah, did you see... So they pulled Scoobal after, 105 pitches in the 7th inning.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they could have left him in for another batter. And, of course, in typical fashion, next batter that comes in gets, a double off the bullpen. Thank God they won that game, because if not, I think that would have been – I think A.J. Hinch would have been under fire, to say the least, for pulling Scoobal that early. But, I mean, listen – whatever, they know how to manage him. I think they've done very well so far, managing his pitch count, his innings, and everything else. I mean, the guy's had Tommy John surgery. He's had what's the other surgery he's had done? I mean, he's essentially, if you really think about it, he's. I mean, you could argue one pitch away from ending his career. I mean, maybe I'm exaggerating a little bit, but. And that's a decision, because there's a lot of talk about Scoobal, and I guess we could dive into him real quick.
Yeah,
with his pending free agency coming up in 2027. If his agent Boris is going to look for $400 million, the Tigers are going to have to, I think, have a real heart-to-heart with themselves. The organization is going to have to look at this and go, "We're going to pay this guy $400 million." And then, of course, last night. The national broadcast on ESPN was talking about Scoobal and basically kind of alluding to their thoughts of the only teams that are going to be able to pay him are the Dodgers or the Mets or the Yankees. And then Buster Olney also put out a statement today, or an article today. He was talking about the same thing. $400 million in 2027 for Scoobal. Didn't even say the Tigers. He basically said it's the Dodgers and the Yankees that are going to be in a bidding war for Scoobal. So, but, I mean, I don't know what your opinion is, but I mean, again, at that point, you look at his age, you look at his arm. I mean, I would argue he's probably in his prime right now. So in 2027, do you think the Tigers are really going to put forth $400 million for him? I mean, listen. I'm certainly not running the Tigers and or a sports franchise, but I think that would be a huge risk on their part. And I don't think Chris Ilitch would do it. Your opinion?
You have a rational side, and I have the fan side. The fan side of me is absolutely, you have to sign him. He's the best pitcher in baseball. You've got to pay him what he wants. Right. But the same respect is, like you said, he's gone through Tommy John. He's gone through these other surgeries. He's going to be, I think he's 27 right now or so, give or take.
Yeah, I think you're right.
Yeah. So, let's just say he's going to be 29 when he signs that next contract. It's a lot of wear and tear on that elbow throwing those pitches like he is. And, from what I read is that Tommy John is realistically only good for about another 7-8 years, and you're going to need another one.
Right.
So, pitchers coming back from Tommy John isn't like there was a number of years ago where you got Tommy John, you were done. Now you're coming back even stronger, but there's a limit to how much you can come back through. Personally, I can't see them pushing that much to it. That's why I think this year is important, and maybe next year, because if they know they can't sign him next year, they have to trade him at the trade deadline, because you have to get something for him.
Yeah, why not? I mean, I almost would. I find myself saying the same thing over and over. Make an argument for why not offer him $250, $300 million now? See if, and Boris would never do this. No. But if Scoobal looks at it and goes, "Hey, maybe maybe I'm really rolling the dice, waiting 2 years. Who knows what my arm's going to do? He knows his own body better than anybody else. But if the Tigers offered that kind of money right now, maybe, right? Pull the trigger, get him for a bargain. I'm not. None of us are running the organization and have any insight as to what exactly their mindset is. But
no, yeah, I mean it's a risk reward, knowing you could cash in that lottery ticket early and get a certain a good amount, or you can wait 2 years and that lottery ticket could be worth double. But
can we just pause for a moment and think about what we're talking about? What did I just say? 230 or 300 million, 400 million dollars. What? It's like Monopoly.
There were teams that weren't worth that much a few years ago.
Yeah. I mean, this is incredible. The amount of money that's getting flaunted around. I mean, how far away are we from a $1 billion contract? Not that far.
Another 6-7 years.
Yeah.
We were at one of Charlotte's friend's house yesterday, and I was talking with one of the dads. He's a huge basketball fan, so we always talk basketball back and forth. And, we're both talking about the contracts the NBA players get, how ridiculous that a six man is making $30 million a year. But you've got 16 players that get all of that money when they do revenue sharing, versus a major league team that's got what is it 23 man or 25, whatever it is, the rosters,
25-man roster, right?
Yeah. I'm thinking 54 man for football, but so you're dividing that piece of the cake, or a piece of the pie, by so few people with the NBA. So yeah, you're going to have players that don't play making $20 million a year, $15 million a year, because they have to fill that roster spot, and that money has to be spent. Yep. Football and everything else, as much money as they make, you have to divvy it up many more players.
I mean, look at the NHL. I mean, I would argue Connor McDavid and some of the other highest paid players in the NHL are barely a backup in the NBA for all intents and purposes. They're not even a six man for that matter.
So, you mean as far as their wages, or
the overall contracts? Yeah,
absolutely. It's insane to see. It is monopoly money, like you said. What these guys are making, it's to think about it being real life it's not. It's crazy that these guys are getting this kind of contracts and he's getting this kind of money. But hey,
so back to your Tigers. You got what? 10 days till the trade deadline, right? 31st.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're going to pull something. If they're going to pull something before then, wait till all the way up. I mean, I guess there's something to be said about the sellers. The teams are going to sell are probably going to want to wait till the very last minute to get the most bang for their buck, I guess you would say. See if the Tigers pull the trigger. Listen, they need a right-handed bat. That is, they scored 3 runs over the weekend. 3 runs.
Yep.
So their offense is becoming quite putrid. You got Javier Bays. I don't think we're doing the fear Javier anymore. Although they talked about today, I guess he does have a bum shoulder. I can't remember what series that was in, sliding into second base, but he pulled himself out of the lineup last night after he swung at a pitch that was literally in the left-handed batter's box.
I saw that. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I don't know that was the worst pitch he's ever swung at, but he's made a name for himself over the past couple of years of swinging at these crazy outside pitches, or pitches that no major league batter should be necessarily swinging at, but
Yeah.
yikes.
Well, I'm looking at. I mean, obviously the Tigers. It's 3-0 top of the eighth. But pitching. Skeens is the one that's throwing tonight. Skeens through
In
6 in the
Pittsburgh.
third. Yeah, in Pittsburgh, 6 in the third, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, and 3 hits. I'm sorry, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits. So he scattered 3 hits over 6. 6 strikeouts and a walk. So now they're trying to get to the bullpen. Hopefully they can get to him, but the Tigers, to me, is much more, even more than a right-handed bat. They've got to get some more depth in that bullpen. They've got to get another couple of arms in there. They have to get a legitimate closer if they can. But who is that nowadays anyhow? I think AJ Hinch does a great job when it comes to shifting these guys in the pen.
Well, he does, and he doesn't even like to use the word closer for that matter.
No.
What is it? Vest last night closed out the Rangers. He looked pretty impressive. Scoreless ninth. I don't even think they got a runner on board, to be honest with you. But
No.
yeah, they're going to have to. There's absolutely some need. I mean, listen, a 6-game losing streak over the course of 162 games. I mean, it is Major League Baseball. These teams go through this. Somebody was talking earlier today about the 84 Tigers had a 8-game losing streak, if I'm not mistaken. I think it was at least 6. They also talked about the 84 Tigers went 500 after the All-Star break. I guess a little bit of concerning is the Tigers since July 1st, I think, are a 500 baseball team. So I think they're coming back down to earth. All of that said, first team to 60 wins, first team this, first team that. I mean, I've talked about this a couple times on the podcast. I mean, people talk about the Dodgers being arguably the best team in baseball, even though the Tigers have the best record. The Dodgers are 2-8 in their last 10. The Cubbies are 6-4. The Reds are 6-4. Milwaukee right now is absolutely on fire. Milwaukee.
I was just going to say, look at that NL Central. I mean, the Cubs 59-40, the Brewers 59-40, the Reds 52-48. It's
look
crazy.
at insane. So if you look, let's take the NL Central, which you just said, Cubbies, Brewers, Reds, and St. Louis, and the Cardinals. Yeah, every one of those teams has a plus run differential. The Cubs are 123 plus run differential. So if you look at the Tigers at plus 83, but look at the AL Central. It's a complete opposite outside of the Tigers. The Tigers have a plus 83. The Tribe has a minus 43, Minnesota minus 8, Kansas City minus 28. Well, the White Sox minus 78. Then you look at the East. The East actually is pretty impressive too. Toronto, who's made a massive comeback in the last month. I mean, you're talking about them being sellers at the deadline just 30 days ago. Now I'd argue they're playing every bit as good as the Tigers. Plus 26, the Yankees are plus 112, Red Sox plus 57, and the Rays plus 70. That's going to be a division to be reckoned with. And then even the AL West, you've got the top 3 teams with plus run differentials. So, listen, again, I don't know that a 6-game losing streak is necessarily the end of the world for the Tigers. Clearly winning last night, they needed that. And just for their own psyche, being down 3-0 right now. I think a lot of people thought that if they lost last night, that was number 7 in a row, and they'd probably lose tonight. So I think tonight was an expected loss. But at the same time, I don't think it's a reason for panic. But I think that Scott Harris, this is maybe a little bit of a wake-up call that he's going to absolutely have to do more probably than he thought at the deadline. I think going into the season, he probably didn't think he was going to be as big of a buyer as he's probably going to be. I think because the Tigers are absolutely ahead of schedule. But yeah, he's going to have to address the bats and the bullpen. I don't think starting pitching is necessarily with Scoobal and with whatchamacallit? Mize, yeah. He's only had one bad outing. So, but again, I mean, listen, that's a long, clearly the longest season of any professional sports is Major League Baseball. So
And it is truly a marathon.
Oh yeah. Well, it's exciting too. I mean, listen, at the end of the day, this is kind of what makes it arguably one of the more exciting sports too. I mean, I've always kind of been, I don't know that we need to be playing 162 games. Major League Baseball and the owners will never allow it to go less than that just because of the revenue from all of the home games and everything else. But, listen, there's nothing better than October baseball. I don't necessarily like to see it in November. I don't think baseball should be being played in November. But, yeah. So, yeah, we'll see. I mean, it's going to be an exciting – well, now we're down to 9 days. We'll see exactly what they're going to do. So.
Absolutely. And looking at it, they still have, after all of that, whatever, 6-7 games they lost, everything they've done, they've lost a half game on their lead. It was 11 and a half.
That's it.
And it's 11 now. So
Cleveland's 11 games back.
You think about
after we declared them dead, they were 8-2 in their last 10.
Yeah.
And Cleveland,
absolutely.
Their schedule for the second half is much easier too. They don't have quite the gauntlet that the Tigers do, but it's going to be exciting. We'll see.
It is, and to get if they can get a division championship, they're going to host some baseball, not have to play in that first round. It's going to be exciting. You're going to see what's going to come up. I'm happy for it. There's nothing like going to a baseball game in the fall and when everything's on the line. And to me, we always joke, Mike, you and I, about how I love baseball along, and you're telling me it's so slow and boring. This is back in high school, and I'm just like, no, it's not. And I think you've come to see that now. Every at bat is a game. Every at bat is a war of what are you going to throw? How are you going to pitch this guy?
Yeah. Well, there's so much, there's strategy behind it. That in high school, not playing baseball per se, at least at that level. I mean, I played it as a kid, but and then coaching Bobby, being the first base coach for whatever it was, 8-10 years. Well, clearly not pulling the strings like the head manager / coach was. There were absolutely my appreciation for the game and what goes into it, the strategy behind it, literally every pitch. Every single pitch, whether it's an actual pitch to the plate or a step off or throw to first, throw to second, whatever, right? It's pretty amazing. And you definitely get more of an appreciation for it, especially when listen, we're talking, travel ball, fed ball, whatever, but so.
It is. It's fun to see, and it's great to see as many teams as we have in this area, the minor league teams, everything else around, even the collegiate level. There's some good baseball.
Unicorns.
Absolutely.
Birmingham, Bloomfield, Birmingham. The heck are they called?
Beavers.
Hoppers? What?
No, they're the Beavers. It's the East Side.
The Beavers. Yes.
And then
apologize.
You've got Beavers. The Woolly Mammoths for the West Side Woolly Mammoths.
West Side Woolly Mammoths. I haven't actually been to a game in a little while. I was thinking about that the other night, that I need to get over there. They've got a lot of great events at Jimmy John's Field, and now, of course, they play Wednesday through Sunday. It was originally in the inception, it was Thursday through Sunday. If anybody listening or watching has ever been to a game, I think you can appreciate how cool that stadium is. Small, quaint. I'd argue it's not as cool as like Fifth Third Field in the Mudheads in Toledo, which is probably single-handedly one of the best venues in baseball, I would argue, at least in the minor leagues anyways. But
I mean, what other fields can you throw a stool onto from the Frickers patio? Maybe that's where Jimmy's at.
Yeah. He's down at Fifth Third Field in Toledo, reminiscing and reliving his late night extravaganzas with the unbelievable.
No, and I remember just in the couple of years I worked for the Flaming Rocks, the Kodiaks, just the fact of to work in that, to be able to go in every morning. And this is pre-internet days.
Do you have a hat? Do you have a hat you can bring on?
I will.
Flaming Rocks hat?
It. I think I have a jersey. In fact, I still have a jersey from them too. You
need to make a note
I
to
reached
bring
out
that
to
on.
Ryan Cienko, by the way, who is the Tigers catching coach. I'm sitting there the other day and I'm like, right, God, that name sounds familiar. How do I know Ryan? I know Ryan. I've met him. Sure enough, Ryan was there my first year when I was in Kalamazoo. He was our catcher with the Kodiaks. And so he's gone on now. He's worked for the Dodgers. He's worked for other teams. Now he's a catching coach for the Tigers. So reached out to him. I'm trying to just say hi to him, let alone try to have him on. But it's pretty cool. But the fact that what I would do, and I was such a geek, every morning when I came in, there was no internet, no, I think I literally would stare at box scores for like an hour or two. So that way during the game, because I was doing PR, and if we'd have newspaper, we'd have any radio people there, it'd be enough to throw out stats of, oh yeah, in the last 10 games, this guy's hitting 12 for 24. This guy's this, right. He's got this many that's, and there was nothing like that. You have a cup of coffee just staring at box scores. It's just kids these days won't understand the joy of doing something like that. But doing that, I had to make $20 a day. I had to sell 100 programs, hawking them in the stands. I'd sell beer during the games. You do whatever you had to do, but no, not Hawktua, hawking. I'd have to hawk the beers. Yes. It was just fun to do, to be in that minor league setup, and it was amazing to do. But now back to the professionals. There's another team. You talked about 10 days away being the MLB trade deadline. There's something else that 10 days away. It's the Lions kickoff in the Hall of Fame Classic down in Canton, Ohio.
Yes.
I would love to go down, but we're both NFL fans, but you got to imagine that'd be the most boring game in the world to go to.
Yeah, I would think so. That's what, a week from Thursday on the 31st? Yeah.
31st.
8 o'clock. Yep.
Mm-hmm. Of course, who are they playing again? The Chargers?
Jim Harbaugh-led Chargers. I would love to actually see anybody ask him a question about the whole Michigan scandal too. Oh. Speaking of that, did you see the letter from Petiti to the NCAA? They didn't actually release the letter. So
something about you've gone on enough. Let's forget about it.
Yeah, I don't. It kind of surmising, but yeah. So this is in reference to the Connor Stalions cheating scandal from the University of Michigan. It appears as if Petiti has sent. Now this is back in June, so this was just released today. Ironically enough, the day before the Big Ten Media Day, which is a whatever in and of itself.
Do you see where it's at this year?
Yeah, it's in Vegas.
I
know. The Big Ten Media Day is in Vegas. I guess I understand, being that the Big Ten has now, 45 teams in it?
Yeah.
So many from the West Coast. I guess it's centrally located, maybe. But anyways, so Petiti, the commissioner of the Big Ten, allegedly has sent a letter. Again, this letter has not been released, but this is from sources, recommending that the NCAA not take any further action against the University of Michigan football program, which I find absolutely laughable. Let me preface this by saying I am not a Michigan State fan. Have I rooted for Ohio State in years? Yes. I don't know that I would call myself the biggest Ohio State fan anymore. I'm having a hard time being the biggest fan of college football in general, just because of things that we've talked about and everything else. But it almost seems like it's a preemptive strike by him. Of course, Michigan has a self-imposed ban for Sharon Moore for the 3 games, which are by far it's an absolute joke.
No, but no, it's the games. Like, it's not the first 3 games. It's like game 2, game 6, game 4. Like, so
handpicked.
He can go back to Oklahoma, which is his alma mater to coach, and he can other games. But whatever.
I mean, listen. I don't want to alienate half of the audience that's a Michigan fan, the Michigan fans that are out there. But at the same time, it's kind of like, interesting. Day before Michigan or the Big Ten press day, I don't know. Listen, at the end of the day, I think the NCAA is probably going to drop the hammer on Michigan, whether it's a 1-year bowl ban and some limited scholarships. I've heard 2-year bowl ban. I don't know if that's going to happen. I do not think they are going to pull the national championship from them. I doubt that's going to happen. I can't see that happening.
does it make a difference?
It doesn't make a
the
difference.
T-shirts are sold. Everything is the
Yeah,
same.
right.
Yeah, you still have the rings.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you also have the Michigan faction fans that continue to scream and holler about, oh, everybody does it, everybody did it. Right. We can rehash this over and over again. At the end of the day, you got caught. The repercussions are coming. You're going to have to accept them. I don't think you're going your national championship's intact, so just chill out. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So,
No, and it's tough, and it's as a fan of the mid majors, being as a Western grad and Bronco football. What can you really do nowadays with NCAA football when it comes to we can't compete? You can't compete with these guys. As soon as you get a player that's going to be worth anything, you're going to have hundreds of millions of dollars thrown at these guys, which they'd be dumb not to take. And it's crazy to see what's going to happen. The football is going to change. But
so this is
go ahead.
So I was going to say, so this is it's Dan Wetzel, ESPN. Who actually sent this article out about Petitti. He says, give Big Ten Commissioner Tony Petitti credit for this. He'll advocate for what he believes is best for one of the league's teams. And that's the thing about Michigan, right? I mean, at the end of the day, Michigan is one of the biggest draws in the country, period, end of story, for ratings, for merchandise, for whatever. So does anybody that has any vested interest in NCAA football have any vested interest in getting rid of Michigan? Absolutely not.
No.
So regardless, Petitti has sent a letter to the NCAA Committee on Infractions arguing that Michigan deserved no further punishment in a case focusing on the actions of former staffer Connor Stallions. The letter was read at an early June Infractions Committee hearing in Indianapolis. That's from multiple sources. The NCAA has charged Michigan with 11 rule violations, 6 of them level 1, which is pretty substantial in and of itself, which is classified as the most serious. The committee has yet to hand down a ruling, but one is expected before the 2025 season. So that's coming up pretty quick. It does not have to follow or even consider Petitti's opinion. Big Ten confirmed to ESPN that Petitti sent the letter and said it would have attended in person, but was recovering at the time from hip replacement surgery. This is Petitti, I guess. So it goes on and on and on. Let me make this one last point. Petitti argued sources said that the Big Ten itself had already sufficiently punished the Michigan program when it suspended then coach, and that's right, I forgot about this. It suspended then coach Jim Harbaugh for the final 3 games of the 2023 regular season. So that was Penn State, Maryland, and then, of course, in the debacle at home against Ohio State. When I say debacle, I mean for the Buckeyes' sake. Even without Harbaugh, Michigan won all 3 en route to capturing the national championship. So, yeah, we'll see. Again, I don't know that that they're going to absolutely drop the hammer on Michigan. I'm sure that a letter like this doesn't hurt Michigan's chances, but time will tell. Because according to this, and this has been multiple sources, that the NCAA is going to actually hand out whatever their ruling is and penalties before the start of the 2025 season. So that is 6 weeks away.
What is it really going to do? It's going to be a slap on the wrist. They're not going to come down with a hammer because you can't cut the hand. You're not going to cut your, arm off to whatever, forget whatever idioms you want to use.
You can't, but at the same time, I think you do have to set a precedent too, because if it is only a slap on the wrist, so what does that say to the rest of the colleges, right?
Yeah.
Okay. If you're going to cheat egregiously, anybody can argue this, whatever you want. They got caught cheating. Period. End of story.
Yeah.
They did it. I don't care what anybody says. They did it. So if that's the precedent, you get caught cheating, and the only thing that's going to happen to your program is a self-imposed 3-game ban for your head coach against a bunch of powder puffs. What's going to stop anybody else from doing it? So I think that that's what the NCAA is looking at. I think that's probably why the penalty is going to be a little harsher than some people think, or maybe a little less harsh than others, but whatever.
Did you see Connor Stallions popped off the other day talking about It was about, he was talking about, for 6 games or something, we knew every play they were going to call. That TCU game. We knew it. He didn't, they're lying. They didn't change it. Well, once again, I'm going to swear they got their asses kicked. You're telling me that you knew their plays, you knew what they were going to do, but you still got your butts handed to you?
No, they didn't know, because they didn't prepare for them at all. They were preparing for, wasn't it Washington, right?
I think so, yeah.
They had no anticipation that TCU was going to win that game, so they were scouting. And again, this is allegedly, they had their staffers, maybe counter stallions, at the Washington game, tape recording them, and then all of a sudden TCU wins, and they're like, this isn't good.
Yeah.
And then next thing you know, they got their butts kicked. So
yeah, and it just made no sense that, you're telling me you knew the plays they were going to call, you knew what they were going to do. No, if you really knew, it would have been a much closer game, and it would have been much. I don't know what he has to prove. He's just he's one of those people that it's just getting annoying with everything. And now to see him coaching high school,
every time he speaks, it's like the whole controversy kind of goes into the background for a long period of time. Nobody really talks about it. And then this buffoon opens his mouth and everybody goes, oh yeah, I forgot about that. I mean, he's clearly an attention, what. He wants the spotlight on him. He's a very weird individual. Yes, he's coaching high school. But that's a whole other story. The controversy that surrounds that. Whatever. I mean,
well, let's I'm only going to bring this up because of the Connor Stallions side of it. Connor Stallions got in close with Barstool, with what's his name, the guy who runs Barstool, and a brain just fried
Dave
for
Portnoy?
a second. Dave Portnoy. And whatever you feel about Portnoy, he's been successful with what he does. The guy donates millions of dollars. He has some causes that are really good. The fact that he loves rescue animals and rescue dogs, hey, you're good in my eyes with that. But did you see what FS1 is now kind of changing to? They're almost to me, it almost looks like now the FS1 pregame shows are going to be a lot of Barstool, a lot of Portnoy and things like that moving forward in the fall.
Oh, really? I didn't see that.
Yeah. I mean, FS1 got rid of a ton of people. They got rid of a lot of their staff, which they've never been able to compete with ESPN. And it's no matter what they do, no matter who they had. I loved them when they had those 2 guys from Canada, Jay and Dan. I mean, they were just funny. They brought a different look to it, but people wanted serious sports. They wanted their sports serious, and that's what they had to have. And they were too much in the comedic side of it. And that's what I liked, because it was something different. But I think it's going to be interesting to see what Barstool does, how much more they do. You saw what happened when they initially tried to get in with ESPN, when they had Pardon My Take, and it lasted a week, and then it was off the air. So
was it even a week?
I don't think so.
I don't even think it was that long. But anyways, to your point.
I mean, I think this is going to be that next step. And Barstool doesn't need FS1, but FS1 needs Barstool.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think
Portnoy is also a pizza aficionado. You ever seen that, where he goes around? He travels the country going to pizza places. Yeah, he's great. Yeah. He's awesome with that stuff. Yeah, say what you want about him. Listen, I like him. I think he's pretty cool. Yeah. Clearly, he's a Michigan slappy.
Well, you could graduate from there, so I guess technically you can be a slappy if you graduated from there. You're allowed to.
He's not a Wally World Wolverine, Walmart, as they call him. Yeah. I wasn't going to say it out loud.
I'll say it. I don't care. Yeah,
you and I have laughed about that. You and I have laughed about that for a long time.
We're still not allowed back in Munising, you and I together. That's a different story for another day. No. But so let's go back to what we were originally talking, the Lions. Well, first off, have you seen any of the show Quarterback on Netflix?
I have not. I've been told by you and by other people to watch it.
Yeah.
Wasn't the original one with... Go ahead, sorry.
No, this is the third one, because the first one had
Cousins, right? Wasn't Kirk Cousins?
It had Cousins. Yeah, it had Kirk Cousins. It also had
wasn't Aaron Rodgers on
Mahomes. Nope, it had Mahomes.
Mahomes,
and then it had who was the guy that Marcus Mariota was the first 3. And then they had receiver last year when Amon-Ra was on there. But the reason I mentioned it was we talked about when we were on the field for the Panthers, because we are so important for the Panthers game. To see where families had to stand, where celebrities had to stand, where all these people that were quote unquote big shots have to stand on the field pregame, and they have to stand in those little corrals.
Oh, yeah.
And it was kind of cool to see how we got to go. You almost look at like, I was there, we were walking up and down that tunnel pregame. It's kind of interesting to see the difference. Exactly. But you think about how cool that kind of was and what it would be like to be in the NFL and have that situation where you're running down the tunnel and
I can't even fathom
with 70 or 65,000 people just screaming,
going insane.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listen. I mean, clearly it's been a dream of yours, of mine, of Jim's. Where's Jim? For a good many years. I mean, not to go off on a tangent, but I just remember when being a kid, and the first couple of times, and even for that matter, every time after that I would go to Cleveland Stadium. I've probably said this on this before, but the feeling of walking in an old stadium like that, and I just remember walking up the ramp, and you could see to the other side. Let's just say you're at the 50-yard line. You could see the other side of the stands, and there was just something about it that would send shivers through my body. I mean, it was literally just this feeling of it's almost like an aura. Like, dude, I'm here. And then you see the teams warming up on the field, and you have in your mind this comparison between watching it on TV, the perspective of a football field, and how it seems so much bigger on TV compared to when you get there. But yeah, I'm getting chills thinking about it right now. Walking up those ramps and seeing the other side of the stadium, the stands, kind of a spattering of people because we would get there early, and then looking on the field and seeing the football players warming up, it was like, oh. Now take that situation and become a player coming out of the tunnel to, like you just said, in that case, it was 80,000 people. This deafening roar of the crowd as you're taking the field. I can't even fathom the adrenaline rush that would be. It would be something clearly out of a movie, I would say. But there's plenty of football players, NFL football players, heck, even college for that matter. We did the thing with the Metallica Enter Sandman at Vatek. Yeah. Imagine being in the tunnel for that. That literally was registered on the Richter scale. Yeah. From Vatek when they play Enter Sandman, and that stadium's jumping up and down. So
when I was at Western, when we played Michigan State, and it was in the tunnel, it got to be in the locker rooms, everything there, and it tells you once again how old I am. Nick Saban was the head coach at Michigan State at the time. Yes. Yeah, that tells you it's been a while. Flozell Adams, the tackle, everything
My
else.
Hair, Nick Saban and his hair.
The fact of seeing the pregame, seeing them almost fight, the coaches are screaming at each other, F-bombs flying back and forth, stuff you never would see on camera. And then they take the field first, and then we take the field, and to get booed by 85,000. Cheering's one thing, but when you get booed and you get stuff thrown at you by 85,000 people, I tell you, that was more of a rush than getting cheered than anything else. It was so cool to kind of rush out of there for that.
Yeah, I mean, look, at the same, yeah, right, exactly. And I think, listen, you take Ford Field as an example, and the deafening roar of that place, and being an opposing player, and I'm sure that there are some players that will actually tell you that they feed off of the negative energy that they're being, the vitriol that's being spewed at them. It's not for the faint of heart, because there's, I would say 90% of professional athletes go into a venue like that, and that's what separates the men and the boys, I guess you would say. But they can't handle that. I mean, no. I guess that's the whole thing about last year. I know we're going off on a lot of different topics, but if you look at the Commanders and you look at rookie quarterback Jaden Daniels,
yeah,
how many 99.9% of the media all the pundits thought that he was going to walk into that place and that crowd was going to make his you-know-what pucker. He did the opposite. That kid walked in. That's what's so impressive about him. He went into that game. He went into that raucous crowd and fed off of that energy and turned it into a positive for him. I mean, I just remember watching that game thinking to myself, and I turned to Bobby a couple times and said this. I'm like, this kid is unfazed. Look at the resilience of this young man and his poise under pressure. This is a playoff game in probably one of the fiercest competitive environments, at least in modern day NFL stadiums, right? And he took the moment and he ran with it. So that was very, very impressive. Not to the tune of Lions fans, but sorry.
Never we played in front of that many folks whenever we played, but just in the experiences you've seen,
not close.
Getting booed, that was always just that to me, that was cooler. It just seemed cooler than, Reggie Jackson had the old quote, "They don't boo nobodies."
Yeah, right.
And if you're getting booed, it's a good thing that people aren't just booing you for nothing. And I thought that was always kind of cool to kind of see.
Well, we got shot at St. Florian, so.
Well, that was a different story. You deserved it. Where's Midge driving the car? Driving
the bus.
So no, but that's now a long way back now to the Lions, and I'm worried this year about them. I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea what's going to happen. Every year, you think the Lions are going to be good. You think you're going to have what it's going to take. I'm really concerned about the center position. I mean, to me, it's going to be between Glasgow and the rookie. Who's going to get that position? Who's going to take that? I think Glasgow's a little bit too old for that. I don't think he's suited for true starter role. He's for that backup position, but Rutledge could take it. That's going to be the big concern. Now you got a defensive lineman that's out for the rest of the year with ACL.
Levi Onwuzurike.
Yeah, and so in a position that it's Groundhog's Day again, just like last year. Okay, well, you had 7 starters on the defensive line that were out for one reason or another. I mean, you have your first and second strings gone for the entire year.
Lee McNeil's not going to be back till what? Probably Thanksgiving, if they're lucky.
Think so. Yeah.
Hutch clearly will be back. But I mean, he's going to have to get into game shape. I mean, it's not like he's going to go into the September 7th game, the opening game, and just be his old self from last year. It's going to take him a couple of games to get into the flow of things. Yeah, I mean, I guess you could be concerned. Are they Super Bowl favorites? No. Or am I confident saying that I think they're going to make the playoffs? Yes. That being said, like you just said, there's absolutely some concern there. Now, I do like what David Montgomery said. I think it was yesterday. And I think that the team's going to kind of take this whole persona amongst themselves of we're tired of being close. We're tired of 2 years ago being literally on the cusp of I mean, they're 2 quarters away from going to the Super Bowl and then bowing out like we just talked about with Jaden Daniels last year. So I like what Montgomery said, and that's coming from Dan Campbell. That's the message. Jimmy sent that thing yesterday about Campbell standing up in front of the team. I'm assuming it was this past weekend, and just that overall mantra of it's time, right? Next man up. We've got injuries, absolutely. So does every other NFL football team. So do the Eagles and so do the Chiefs, and they were in the Super Bowl last year, and the Eagles won. So there's no excuses. No. So for him to stand up and kind of have that statement of we're tired of being close, it's time. This is our time, and we're gonna step up to the plate, and we're gonna get there. So that's it's a great attitude to have.
Yeah, we're
God
not going to know.
Jared Goff get hurt.
Yeah, I mean, you got Hooker in there.
Hendon Hooker,
but
poor kid.
Name an NFL team that you don't say that about.
Oh, I know. Absolutely. I mean, I guess if you look at the Browns, they've got 25 quarterbacks.
All right, bet now. Bet for your life. Shedeur Sanders, will he make the team?
Oh, dude, you got to ask me that. If I had to bet my life, I would say yes. I would say he's going to make the team. Is he going to see the field? No. But I think he'll make the team.
Think about all the guys that they've got. I mean, they've got 5 quarterbacks in camp, 6 quarterbacks in camp. And 2 of them were draft picks. And you got Flacco. And then you traded for, what's his name, from Pittsburgh. You know, it's not like they signed guys off the Heat
practice squad of
right. I mean, they made investments to get all the guys that they've got. I mean, it's kind of like, seeing Penix get drafted when they just signed Cousins down in Atlanta. And by the way, if you watch quarterback, you'll see like after 2-3 games, you could see that Cousins was like, I'm not myself. You may want to move. It's almost like we haven't seen it all, but it's like, you may want to move on from me because I just don't have it. And, I kept wondering why they started Penix instead of starting Cousins. And that makes more sense now with that. So, you've got with there and what is it? I just saw that. And
so now I got to watch this quarterback show.
Yeah. Yeah. You've got Netflix.
It's on Netflix.
Somebody will give it to you. Yeah. It's on Netflix.
No, I have Netflix.
Yeah. Tennessee.
I'm not that far behind.
Tennessee's the kid from last year. What's his the Mayo kid? The quarterback from last year. He's hurt now, out for the rest of the year.
Oh,
really suspicious that he goes out now from an injury that took place September of last year. And so now that pretty much opens up their number 1 draft pick to be able to play for the entire, play for the year. The kid from Miami. So, I'm interested to see what kind of happens with them. It's everyone's, we talk about having a secondary players. It's now these teams are almost, if they get the chance, they're taking a quarterback just so they can have a competition, especially a young quarterback. It doesn't cost you anything compared to what it would be to sign a free agent quarterback.
So let's see. So lines open up at what? At the Packers, right? On the 7th?
Think so. Yeah.
Yeah. If you're looking at the Lion schedule right now, those first, let's see, Bears are at home. We did this obviously earlier, but I'm just doing a quick. I mean, I guess there's an argument to be made. This first 6 games. I mean, if they come out of those first 6 games at 4-2, I would say that is a tremendous success. I would even argue that 3-3, given their injury situation and what they're going into the season with, if they're 3-3 after the first 6 games, that's pretty impressive. And I think they're going to be all right.
And then you think about it in the consecutive weeks. The 22nd, you're playing at the Ravens. Then you're playing the 28th home against the Browns. Okay, whatever. Then you're playing at the Bengals because I got to imagine the Bengals will be better. And
we need to try and get tickets for that game, by the way.
The Chiefs, the Browns-Lions game.
Oh, criminy! I'm in Florida that Sunday. Oh,
the 28th.
Yeah.
Oh, geez.
Dag nabbit. Although Ann and Uncle Mark were up yesterday. I don't know if I told you that or not.
No, I didn't hear that.
Rabid Steelers fans.
Oh, of course, the Stunyas.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, Jim and I, the person that we're going to have on is Uncle Mark. Oh, my word. We're going to have to filter him a little bit. Big Dog will be a big hit on this podcast. As a matter of fact, he was actually advocating yesterday for Jimmy and I to start the podcast last night and have him on. And he had Jimmy literally in tears last night. I mean, Big Uncle Mark he's pretty funny.
That's awesome.
But anyways, yeah. So the Steelers are at the Lions on the 21st, and Ann is already vying to come back up, even though it's 4 days before Christmas. She is single-handedly the biggest Steelers fan on the face of the earth. But that would be cool if we can get tickets for that and have the Stunyas up, and we can all go to the Lions Steelers on the 21st, which is that's Sunday, right? Yeah, Sunday. Dude, that would be spectacular.
I just gotta they turn around. I'm stupid for me not seeing this. Then they turn around 4 days later and have to go to the Vikings on Christmas Day.
Hold on a minute. So I swear to God,
I just saw Jim's text message.
Did you see his text? Let's go with I have an explosive case of diarrhea. I'm sure you guys are rolling now. Give a shout out to Big Uncle Mark Stunya. Jimmy, if you're watching or listening, or when you see this, I literally looked at my phone after I just talked about Uncle Mark. So I said he had us in stitches yesterday. He's pretty funny. He's
Absolutely.
for all intents and purposes sold off all of his steaks in the restaurants in the Pittsburgh area, except for one, Headkeepers, which is a really cool place, by the way. So if anybody's in Pittsburgh and they want to visit a really nice restaurant bar, it's Headkeepers. It's actually in, I believe, downtown Greensburg, Pennsylvania. And then he sold off his final Beer, Bets, and Butts, which was his party store. Very successful.
It's a great name.
It was interesting, huh?
It's a great
Beer,
name.
Bets, and Butts. Yeah. So, and I listen. Please don't quote me because I can't remember exactly what he said, but he kind of saw the writing on the wall. So, but Pittsburgh or Pennsylvania, for that matter, I believe that the big box stores are not allowed to sell case quantities of beer. That's why Mark always was very successful with his party stores. He thinks that it may very well change. But the other interesting thing that I thought was very intriguing, what he talked about, was this generation and the lack of alcohol consumption. The younger generation is just not drinking like
No.
our generation's just right, the baby boomers.
Yeah.
So I thought that was pretty interesting how he said that alcohol sales, beer sales especially, these kids are just not, they just don't drink. I mean, look at my kids as a perfect example. Both of them have nothing to do with it, really. I mean, Bobby will partake in a beverage every once in a great while, but generally speaking, he doesn't want anything to do with it. And that's just kind of the generation. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. I mean, it's clearly a good thing. If you own a beer store, it's not so great at all, or even these bars for that matter. But yeah. So, God, here we go again, man. You talk about, this is the podcast where we're off on the rails. We're everywhere. Which topic.
Apparently, Jimmy is the glue. We did not realize that Jimmy was the glue that was really keeping us on task with everything.
James Daniel Ward, the guardrail of the UFP podcast.
We thought he was just the wild card.
Yeah, he's the guardrails.
So, enough about sports. 2 pop culture things that came up this past week that I saw. The first one I'm going to start about, which has got to be one of the worst ways to die, is the guy with the metal chain walking by an MRI machine and gets just slammed into the machine.
Yeah, did he actually pass away?
He passed away. He died.
He did pass?
What I read. Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, think about
Yikes.
that. That chain is being gripped. Your airways being cut off until that stopped.
Ooh.
I remember my cousin Laura worked for a place that did MRIs, and she said one of the younger people working there was walking by with a wheelchair, wasn't paying attention, and the wheelchair just got slammed against the wall where the MRI machine was.
Can you imagine?
Yeah. I've got titanium in my body. I got metal in my body from my surgeries. And I always thought about that going in for my MRIs. I'm like, oh, please God, please. And obviously they wouldn't, but you always sit there like, can you imagine if you just got sucked up in your body, all that metal is just getting pushed. But
yeah, I haven't had an MRI in a long time, but yeah, I remember the emphatic healthcare workers going crazy about, absolutely no metal whatsoever. Clearly,
any piercings, everything out. Yeah, I'm sure you've got your piercings that no one can see, Michael. So that way you keep them private.
No, but thank you for asking. I have no piercings. I have no tattoos. Yes, I'm old man yelling at clouds, as I always say on this thing. Yeah, that would be a absolutely horrific way to go. Clearly,
yeah.
That and a wood chipper, I would think, would be probably just as bad.
Wood chipper it'd be fast though. The wood chipper would be fast.
Instantaneous. Yeah. Sayonara.
Yeah.
Ground meat for you.
We're really off on tangents now.
Oh yeah. We're going way off the rails.
So the second story, and I think this has pretty much galvanized the United States of America because I've not seen anyone stick up for them, are the CEO and the director of HR being caught at the Coldplay concert. Now,
I'm laughing at this, but I am.
The best line out of all of this is I saw a video with Chris Martin singing and playing, and he goes, "Oh, well, either someone's camera shy or we just caught an affair."
Yeah.
That was hilarious,
dude. Cleveland just beat Baltimore 10-5. Sorry.
Okay.
Yeah, when I saw it for the first time, I mean, I think, like you just said, collectively, the entire country went, they are not supposed to be there together and embracing like they are or were, for that matter. And to see him duck like that was pretty funny. And then she disappears.
It's funny that they said, and when I heard this, and I'm like, it really is like, no matter what you show a video of nowadays, people are going to politicize it one way or the other. They're like, there's no way, there's no, no second guessing this. People aren't worried about, there's no, what are you going to say? Although I did see one of the country stars, Morgan Wallen, whatever, came up and said for one of his concerts, don't worry, we're not showing any video. You can cheat as much as you like in my show. I'm thinking to myself, oh my, come on. That's ridiculous.
Apparently I guess on Saturday, this was all over the news that the astronomer CEO released a statement that it was a blistering of concert venue. It was a blistering of social media. It was a blistering of Coldplay. I guess it ended up being false, but it was pretty funny because I was listening to him like, dude, you can't. You're blaming everybody else that it's an invasion on your privacy. Again, this was proven to be a parody. It was not him. This was not his official statement. Yeah, here we go. Andy Byron's statement floating around social media is duping everyone. So this is what it said. Okay, again, I'm going to say this. This is not real. This is fake. This is completely made up. At Astronomer, our people are the most valuable asset in helping our customers to gain more competitive advantage with their data. Kirsten's exceptional leadership and deep expertise in talent management, employee engagement, and scaling people strategies will be critical as we continue our rapid trajectory. She is a proven leader at multiple growth stage companies. Oh, really? And her passion for fostering diverse, collaborative workplaces makes her a perfect fit for Astronomer.
What does Astronomer do?
I don't even know what they do. Byron quickly scrubbed his social media accounts, but an apology statement attributed to the CEO popped up on a social media account claiming to be a CBS reporter. A quick look at the account shows it is indeed a parody, but that didn't stop the post from going viral. Listen to this. That post, over 630 views and just 630,000 views in just 5 hours. Can you imagine the Unfunniest podcast getting that kind of views?
Well, what do we got to do to go viral, Mike? What we got to do something here. Hold
on. I gotta read this because this is actually funny. Again, very fake. This is not an official statement. But the parody goes, I want to acknowledge the moment that's been circulating online and the disappointment it's caused. What was supposed to be a night of music and joy turned into a deeply personal mistake playing out in a very public stage. The apology written by Byron's name goes, the fake apology even suggested it was Coldplay's fault for the alleged infidelity becoming public. Listen to this. I also want to express how troubling it is that what should have been a private moment became public without my consent. This is great. I respect artists and entertainers, but I hope we can all think more deeply about the impact of turning someone else's life into a spectacle. As a friend once said, this is great. He's citing a Coldplay song. Lights will guide you home and ignite your bones, and I will try to fix you. Whoever came up with this parody is a genius, and they should find this person and hire them immediately.
If they had just stayed on the screen and not tried to jump off, would anybody have cared?
Probably
would anyone have noticed?
Yeah. So can you bring up the Philly Fanatic parody?
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's the best one yet. That is the absolute best one yet.
Let's see.
The Mr. and Mrs. Philly Fanatic. It's so funny. I saw that yesterday. I almost peed my pants. I was laughing so hard. I'm like, dude, these guys, moments like this, like you said, it solidifies the country. It also brings out the absolute most intuitive, creative minds that we have in this country or in this world, for that matter.
Mm-hmm.
The world stage.
All right,
But it's like, it's amazing how creative people can get with this kind of stuff.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I don't know how you can feel. I don't know if we should feel bad for the guy. I mean, he clearly got caught his hand in the cookie jar, as they say. Sure, it's happened plenty of times prior. Not sure necessarily caught. Andy Byron has tendered his resignation, and the board of directors has accepted. The board will begin a search for our next chief executive, as co-founder and chief product officer Pete DeJoy continues to serve as interim CEO. The $1 billion company said. Oh, here we go.
All right, come on. Either they're having an affair or
Look
they're
how
very
fast.
shy.
You see how fast he went down? Oh, look, he comes back up every once in a while. Oh,
there was,
that was the best.
So there were a couple that were. It wasn't the Philly Fanatic. There was a couple other ones I'm trying to remember that did that were just, oh my God, they were hilarious. Maybe it was all just Philly, but there's tons of them have done this. It's kind of crazy to see all of them that are out there.
So I guess
let's see if we can go to
Coldplay played again. Was it yesterday? I don't remember where at.
Mm-hmm.
But they, Chris Martin, it was pretty funny. I heard it on the radio this morning. He kind of prefaced the entire thing before they went. Oh, what happened?
I just changed it to this one.
Oh. Yeah, maybe this is a different one.
This is the oh my God.
Oh, there they are. Like the way he shakes his head then goes down below. She turns around. Look at him. He pops his head back up, then back down.
This is my wife.
Great. This is my wife. Oh, man.
Let me see.
See what I mean?
Click.
People can be creative when you want them to.
Oh, yeah.
It's great.
Some of them have done the funny pictures.
Oh, there it is. Chris playfully warns crowd after astronomer CEO affair. See the top left there? Yeah, right there.
We'd like to say hello to some of you in the crowd. How are we going to do that?
This is great.
Is we're going to use our cameras and put some of you on the big screen. So please, if you haven't done your makeup, do your makeup now. This is the way we're going to get to say hello to some of you. I wish we could say hello to all of you. About 1:30 in the morning last night, I met a girl called Carolina Oliveira and her friends. Susan, maybe? I can't remember. They were very drunk. They won't remember it. But that's... they're here, though. I gave them tickets. I did do that. Anyway, what we're doing now is really trying to say hello to all of you individually through the medium of about 4 individuals. So here we go. Let's put somebody up on screen and say hello, please.
Mario, Luigi.
Mario.
Brothers. Hello. Oh, look at that. Look at that. Fantastic. Yeah.
That's great.
Tell me they're going to have a joke with it.
Uh-oh. Oh, there we go.
Okay. Hello, my beautiful brothers. Seeing you makes me the opposite of cross. Thanks for coming to our show. dressed in Nintendo or coming Super Mario Bros.
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good on the fly.
Mario Luigi.
I know I couldn't do that.
No. We joke about how quick we can come up with some stuff, but it's definitely not that good. So,
No,
last
not that
thing,
good
Michael,
by any stretch.
do you have a rant of the week, Michael?
I do.
All right.
I got to bring up. I have to bring up my. Go ahead.
We have a second, then we bring this up. Mike's rant song. Everyone loves and appreciates it now.
Oh yeah.
Here we go.
It's like one of the. Go ahead.
It's time for everyone's favorite segment, Mike's Rant of the Week. And now, here is Mike with his rant.
You're good.
All right. So, yes, thank you, Kathy, as usual. Wonderful introduction. I have to preface, like I like to do in some of these things, by saying that pharmaceutical drugs are clearly beneficial to many, many, many people in this country. They've done some amazing things, improving the lives of many people amongst us. And there is absolutely a need for all of this. However, what always is amazing to me as you watch these commercials on TV and you listen to them on the radio is the subliminal messages of the risks behind said pharmaceutical drugs. So this is one that really caught my I guess I'm not going to say which one it is, but here are the risks involved and the possible side effects by taking this one particular pharmaceutical drug. Blank can cause serious bleeding, including, in many cases, fatal bleeding. You may bruise more easily, and bleeding may take longer to stop. Seek immediate medical attention if you experience unexpected bleeding, bleeding that lasts a long time or is severe, unusual gum bleeding, frequent or severe nosebleed, abnormally heavy menstrual or vaginal bleeding, red, pink, brown urine, red, black, tarry stools, vomiting, coughing up blood or vomit looks like coffee grounds, unusual pain, swelling, joint pain, headaches, dizziness, or weakness. Increased risk of blood clots. Stopping this particular drug too soon, especially if you have atrial fibrillation, not caused by a heart valve problem, increases the risk of stroke. Do not stop taking this particular drug without consulting your doctor. Patients undergoing spinal epidural anesthesia or puncture while taking blank are at increased risk of developing blood clot around the spine or epidural space. This can lead to long-term or permanent paralysis. Wow! Report these symptoms to your doctor immediately. Pain, back pain, tingling, numbness, muscle weakness, loss of bladder, bowel control. Well, that sounds like a day in the life of Mike Ward. Allergic reactions. Some individuals may experience allergic reaction characterized by hives, rashes, itching, difficult breathing. If you experience sudden chest pain or tightness, sudden swelling of your face or tongue, trouble breathing, wheezing, dizziness, feeling faint, seek emergency medical help immediately. Let's see. Do not take this with this other drugs, other warnings, pregnant breastfeeding, blah, 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 blah. I'm like, there was a spot in here, too, that said sudden death. I'm like, what? What? Holy cow. Again, these pharmaceutical companies do wonderful things. They're creating drugs to help patients live longer, to clearly get rid of pain, to do miraculous things. And there's absolutely... they're absolutely viable, but I just find it amazing the side effects. There's incredible.
There's two that always blow my mind whenever I hear these things. The first one is, if you're allergic, don't take it.
Yeah.
No shit, Sherlock. Of course. And the second one is, God forbid, now we all know what the word perineum means.
The what? Perineum? What is that?
It's the taint. It's the area that...
Oh my.
Yeah, look at the perineum. But whenever I hear any of these, there's only one thing that goes through my mind, and I'm going to play this. You're going to know exactly what this is. This might get us kicked off of... We may have to take this off of our YouTube one, but whenever I
Listen,
see,
I forgot about do not taunt Happy Fun Ball. That is
I-
so awesome.
that is whenever I see a pharmaceutical commercial, I just think of do not taunt Happy Fun Ball. You can't. It came to Earth. It's been shipped to our troops in the Middle East, and it's also been dropped on our opponents in Iraq.
You do have to wonder though, like in some of these drugs. I mean, do people actually consider the side effects? I mean, okay. So everybody that knows me, I am Mr. Short-Term Bladder Control. That's just who I am. That's who I've always been. So when I talked to my whatchamacallit, my doctor, he talked about, well, I can put you on this medication, but it's going to do this, and this. So do you want to try to manage it yourself, or do you want me to put you on this drug? I'm like, yeah, I'll just continue to go pee a lot and literally be in meetings. And it gets in my head like, oh no, that's everybody always says it's in your head. You don't have to pee. It's just in your head. I'm like, okay, well, you're not me. You're not having this overall ridiculous urge to use the restroom as I'm listening to the CEO of the company or the president of the company in these meetings. I'm like, uh-oh, I gotta go. That's why I always sit in the back of the room too. And that's not because I want to sit in the back of the room necessarily. It's because I know exactly where the exit's at. And I know exactly where that restroom is at and how much time I can get there and get back without anybody knowing.
Well, I think about that
Mr.
too.
Short-Term bladder control. That was another SNL skit.
Oh yeah. When I think about, the same thing, like for anyone that doesn't know, I've got permanent nerve damage on both legs, from orthopedic surgeons and doctors that would not operate on my spine when it was as bad as it was. They kept telling me it was everything but problems with my spine. Neither here nor there. I'm thankful to God that I can walk, I can move, I can still feel most of my legs, I can still have everything fine. But every doctor I go to, well, why don't we try you on this type of medication? Why don't we try you on that? I'm like, why? They're like, well, what do you take for pain? I'm like, I don't. I take Tylenol once every 2 weeks. I don't take anything. And if I do, I take other medications for pain at night, which all the neurologist I've seen said, you're better off taking that than you would be any other pharmaceutical. And to that effect, I'm thankful I can still move, I can still do this, and I don't have to worry about it, because there was a point, Mike, this, when my back was as bad as it was, I was taking 7 to 8 Vicodin a day.
Ooh.
And I could not move. I couldn't.
That many? I didn't know you were taking that many.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. That was when we were up north that time. When you
slept in the recliner?
I had to sleep in a recliner for 8 months. Couldn't sleep in a bed, and every doctor just told me I needed to lose weight, that my back was fine. And I'm thankful that we neither here nor there, but the same thing. I don't take medicine. I don't have to. I'm so thankful after my bariatric surgery, instead of taking all these other medications, I'm down to 1 medication a day. That's it. That's all I have to take. After I got rid of 7 of them.
I was gonna talk to you about at some point doing somewhat of a kind of natural remedy topic on the show, and so I won't go into some long dissertation. But people ask me. I mean, I've lost since, let's see, Bobby was born in 2003, so I think that that point I was at 250 or 255 pounds. So I was pretty big. I can bring up a picture, but so I'm down to maybe 190, 195, something like that. And people are, oh, how'd you lose all the weight? Well, listen, first of all, it took a long time. Second of all, it took a tremendous amount of hard work. But where I'm going with this is what I'm become a firm believer of, and especially probably in the past year, is that the human body's designed to heal itself. Some people make fun of me with my cold showers that I do now, which is incredibly therapeutic. Yeah. And people say, well, I tried, I can't do it. Okay. Well, you can do it. It is not easy. Time. Yeah, it is. Yeah. I mean, so my argument or instruction or encouragement is, if you can make it past the first 10 seconds, you can make it 5 minutes or 6 minutes, because it's, in my opinion, again, it's all in your head. If you can get in and you can withstand that 10 seconds, and then you just kind of get lost in your thoughts and you start to breathe a little bit, the amount of therapeutic healing that cold water actually does to your body. And there's all these studies now that talk about cold water shock proteins that are released from your liver, and it's an unlimited amount of supply. They get released into your bloodstream. It's absolutely a weight loss remedy. There are now studies that show, and this is where I really get a lot of flack, a 5-minute cold plunge will burn more calories than 60 minutes of hard cardiovascular exercise. That's actually been proven true now. So, but again, not to go off and here we go again with off into the rails, but I'm a firm believer now more than ever that the human body is designed to heal itself. There's studies now that even show broken bones can heal themselves with the right amount of pressure and everything else that you do with your body. But yeah, I think again, before I did my rant, I said there's absolutely a need for a lot of people for pharmaceutical drugs. But I think as we're evolving as human beings, we're starting to realize that we're reverting back to the old days of, the body can heal itself. So there's my spiel for the day, as opposed to a rant, I suppose.
I'm a firm believer in that too. Unfortunately, the two things that cause me the biggest problem at night, my nerve damage and my I have to wear CPAP. And
Darth Vader.
Darth Vader. But I looked at it and I talked with my sleep doctor. Even after I lost all the weight, I still have to wear it, and it's nothing to do with I've broken my nose so many times, and I busted up my sinuses so many times. In the face. Well, yeah. Well, I was protecting your butt for how many years? Yeah. So I broke my nose so many times, did all these other things. So, messed up got hit in the face so many times. So, unless I went through severe cosmetic surgery to fix everything, but I did do all that with my septum, and it was the most painful of all the surgeries I've ever been through. The septum surgery was more painful than my spinal surgeries. And sure enough, it helped. It was great. And then went and played basketball 6 months later and got elbowed in the nose and broke my nose again. So, you can only do so much. And unfortunately, there's, I have to be on that the rest of my life. And the nerve stuff is going to happen because doctors kept telling me I was wrong and I was making it up. So, kind of funny that, but I do agree with you, Mike, that there's so many things that you can do, so many things the body can heal. Meditation, when it comes down to it, the effect that meditation has when it comes to brain injuries is now being shown, where to get the focus, to be able to do that really helps people go through a lot of this cognitive issues and some of the stuff that they're doing.
Well, and that's why, Becky's really started with her yoga business and some of the facilities that, she's not only going into churches, but she's going into retirement homes and doing a lot of that. She's going to
go see Stan the Man.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
No, she is. They're going to go. Yeah.
Oh, they are? Oh,
yeah. I mentioned it to my dad. He brought it up. They're going to do a chair yoga there.
We need videos.
We should go and do it. Oh, we're going to go. We're going to participate. We're going to participate, yes. You and I, in chair yoga too. Yeah. That's a great idea.
Now I'm excited. No, but Becky got me on it. Huh?
And Jimmy's going to provide the music.
Yeah. Oh, dude, we're going to bring the E's, or the EVs as he calls them.
They will never be allowed back in there. My dad's going to
rock
get kicked out
with our at the retirement centers. Oh man, you've just given me new life and hope as to what I really want to do.
So you're saying about Becky with the stuff she's doing.
Yeah, well, just the breathing thing and how she got me on the breathing, and then I really started this 10x health thing. And I mean, the other thing that I have a problem with, and I always have had, this has been my whole life, is I don't want to call it chronic fatigue, but the midday doldrums, the late afternoon doldrums, where I always have had to take a power nap, especially in the last 15, 20 years. But I started doing these breathing exercises where you're just ingesting so much oxygen into your bloodstream. It's nature's caffeine. It's crazy how you feel after you do 3 sets. I do 3 sets of 30 of, and you do 30 of those, and then you hold, and after the 30th exhale, you hold for as long as you can. And when you're done, you inhale, and then you hold that for as long as you can. You do 3 sets of those, and when you're done, combined with a cold shower in the morning, I seriously don't feel, even though I will drink coffee, I almost feel like I don't need coffee. It's crazy.
No.
I know.
No, I agree.
A bunch of like, oh God, here goes Ward off into one of his
Big
stupid...
coffees after Ward.
Yeah, yeah, he's going off. Going off on the rails in that one too.
But that effective. Bernie Kosar Coffee wants to sponsor us. We'll be taking that on with no issues.
Oh.
So,
hold on.
Uh-oh. What? Oh my Lord! Is that a real? Oh.
There it is.
I'm surprised that's not framed on your wall.
Kosar's. Well, it's along. It's literally. See all my photo frames over there? It's over there with that. This is Kosar Coffee. This is the greatest comeback of. This is from Bernie to me. A personal note. At least I think so. It might be a form letter. This is the greatest comeback of my life. I sincerely want to thank you, Mike Ward, doesn't say that, for joining me on this journey towards a healthier life. I hope you enjoy it just as much as I do. I love my biggest fans like you, Mike Ward, and I love Kosar Coffee. You matter because you wore 19 your whole life, Mike Ward, and so did your son, and you've continued to adorn me and been my biggest fan. Burr J. Kosar. Kosar Coffee. Look at that. Look at that. Yes.
We're
a personal note from Bernie Kosar right to me.
We're going to have to go through. I'm going to have to do, just like you are, each week. I have so much crap in my office here, so much memorabilia from the Flaming Rocks to everything else that I have. But I may have to do like the Mark random stuff of the week. We're going to have to do those kind of things. And maybe it's Kathy and Charlotte pick something out and be like, can you imagine that this idiot has this in his office? So we are at an hour and 20 minutes. I can't believe it. The two of us have
without Jim.
That long. I know.
Without Jim keeping us in check.
We officially did not have to let Jim talk tonight, which is probably the best thing for us. So we didn't have to follow anywhere.
His case of explosive diarrhea. And anyone that says that that's not true, I was literally reading the text from Jim.
We did.
Yes. Right. Exactly. And he wanted to give a shout out to Uncle Mark Stunius, who again we're going to have on because we're going to have to probably do some editing, a little bit of bleeping out for our PG show, but he'll be a hit.
That's awesome. I know your uncle and I know your aunt, and grew up with them too, and we hung out with them and everything. So yeah, awesome people. But yeah, I was speaking of relatives. I actually got to see my cousins this past week. My cousin Frank and Rita, their cottage I was out in the west side of the state. And I'm thinking to myself, wait a minute, I got to be in Kalamazoo. Why not just give them a call instead of getting a hotel? So I stayed out in their cottage out in South Haven for the night. And
that's cool.
Part of it is I forgot how ungodly expensive things are on the west side of the state during the summer. I tried to get a hotel in Muskegon because I had meetings out there. $400 a night for Holiday Inns and everything else out there.
Holiday Inn?
It was insane. Yeah. Like I'm like, so I had to stay in Grand Rapids the night and drive an hour and a half in the morning to my meeting. And I'm like, I'll just go call my cousins. I can probably stay there for the night, which is great. And works out better. I'd rather stay in a normal house than I would in a hotel any day.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, so I had my West Coast excursion last week, got to go to the great city of Muskegon, got to do some fun stuff and got to do a factory tour.
Whoa.
We're gonna have to bring up and let everybody know what the term factory tour means. But yeah, one of my sales partners out there, Interior Concepts, got to go through their factory, and here I am in dress clothes in 95 degrees, sweating my butt off, walking around in the factory.
Should we tell everybody real quick what the factory tour is actually all about?
Yeah, let's give a factory tour explanation.
Yeah, so this goes back probably 20 years, and I would invite Mark and Dave and Jim and Shane and everybody, or even Uncle Ken for that matter, and we would Becky would be like, why is everybody going? I'm like, well, this is official business. Well, what does official business mean? It's a factory tour. We're going to a factory and we're doing a tour. And she'd give me this look like, are you serious? A factory tour? I'm like, yes, absolutely. These are official company business factory tours. She's like, whatever. So now that's the joke. Where are you guys going? Factory tour.
Factory tour. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we did a factory. She actually got to come on a factory tour last week.
Did she?
We went to Put in Bay.
Oh, very cool.
Yeah, we stayed over at Put in Bay for a couple of days. Kind of did a little bit of a customer appreciation with a few people. A couple of manufacturers that were there that helped to sponsor said event. Had some accounts over there. Had an absolute blast. This is the first time Becky's actually been on one of the or at least this factory tour, anyways.
On a real factory tour.
Yeah, we got to stay. We got to stay in an old Victorian home that's right next to the Put in Bay Winery, and she was in absolute heaven because of the nostalgic of it. I mean, it was pretty amazing. It was built in the mid 1800s.
Wow.
They actually had one of the probably what I would consider the first wheelchairs ever invented. It was wooden. I actually have a picture of it. I'll have to bring it up. But it was pretty amazing. It was gorgeous.
That's awesome.
Didn't have the greatest weather on Wednesday. Trucked over there in a pretty good driving rainstorm, but got there. The sky opened up, got really nice, and had a really good time. So that was great.
Do you take the boat or did you drive down?
No. I drove down and then
took the ferry.
Actually, we had a couple of my accounts took their boats over, and then
Nice.
A couple of the manufacturers brought their boats. So it was good. It was a lot of fun. It was great.
So, what's your week look like this week?
So, pretty uneventful until Friday night / Saturday and Sunday, where I am going to once again be a official patrol boat.
That's
for the offshore races in St. Clair. So my esteemed colleague, Mr. Sean Beamish, will be joining me on Friday night. We're going to have some events with Mercury Marine and some of the folks from the racing division of that. And then Saturday is the trials. We'll go out. So what happens is we have to go out. We're a patrol boat. No wake. They don't shut the river down, but it has to be no wake. So last year we did this for the first time. It was pretty interesting because I get to basically have a wand. I have a badge. I tell people to slow down. And then they look at you, and then you scream back at them like, "Listen, you see this? You see my antenna with my official patrol boat flag? That means I got a badge. Now slow down, you moron. And if you don't like it, I'll get the Coast Guard over here." So when you start saying that, then they look at you. They go, "Well, I guess this guy's official." So, but it's no wake. I think from 11 to 3 or 4 on Saturday. Last year was on the Canadian side. The 7 mile an hour current. You go up again. It's hard to visualize it, but go up to the rock pile, shut the engine off, drift down for God knows how long. It only takes about 10 minutes. Turn the engine back on, go back up, keep drifting. So the job of a patrol boat, holy cow, is to essentially, God forbid something happens in one of the race boats.
Yeah.
If you are close enough, you have to go over and assist. In any way you can. Yeah. So you can't anchor, always got to be floating. There's absolutely no alcohol on board, which is actually a really good thing. No, that's not hard.
No, as much as we drink. Yeah,
right. So it's an alcohol-free environment, which you can probably obviously guess, being the important nature of
you're in
these boats
safety.
These boats are going 120 mile an hour up and down the river. So God forbid something happen and you need to be there, Johnny on the spot. And then Sunday is the official race, and they actually shut the river down completely to all traffic except for commercial. So when the freighters come through, they can't stop them. They do have to stop the race, let the freighters go through, and then they can restart the race.
I'm just thinking of Wayne's World. I'm yelling, car, game on. You know, having to yell that. Let the car through.
Exactly. So that's
That's awesome. No, that's awesome. Marianne, who's always big into that too. Remember Marianne Schaller from high school? Her parents.
She was?
Yeah, her dad was. They had a boat, or they sponsored a boat.
Yeah.
So she's probably gonna be. Yeah, it's been a while. Yeah, names you don't hear of.
Yeah.
Are you going to the Mooney get together on Saturday? That's at Paula and Brian's house.
Oh, criminy! No, I'll be up at the races.
Well, Saturday night. It's not during. It's during the day. It's not during the day.
Oh, wait a minute. That's pretty close to.
Yeah, there's Marine City.
Have to go. Yeah, because I'll be in St. Clair.
Yeah.
All right, Carnegie, watch out.
Brian and Paula, get a bed ready for Mike.
Yeah, bring my esteemed colleague from Canada with me. Yeah.
Too funny. Well, yeah, me, I think I'm supposed to go down to Indiana this week. I'll decide in the morning. I'm trying to wait for. I don't want to drive down to Evansville, and if I don't have meetings scheduled, I was trying to make
Evansville,
sure,
Indiana.
That's a good 7-hour, 8-hour drive. Yeah, it's
yeah.
Get a lot of books in that time, and got a lot of podcasts I can listen to.
There you go.
But I want to thank everybody. We're Jimmy free today, obviously, but appreciate everybody, and
thank you as usual.
Yeah,
keep liking us, keep following us, sending us to your friends.
Absolutely. Anybody wants to be anybody famous, please let us know. We want to interview you or somewhat famous. I'd love to have everyone on and kind of be a part of whatever we can do to help promote what you guys are doing. And Bernie Kosar's coffee I didn't know he played with a Santa hat on though.
Oh yeah.
It's a well-known fact.
Listen, there's a what the heck is it called? A Cleveland Sports 80s, 90s, and it has all these clips. And I find myself enamored with the old Kosar clips. Oh, dude, I feel like, again, I'm back there rooting the team on at the old Cleveland Stadium.
Well, Mike is the Bernie Kosar top fan.
I am a top fan of Bernie. So, Bernie, when I ask you to come on, please, for the love of God, I don't know if I'll even be able to talk, but we'll find out.
All right. Well, everybody, thanks again. Episode 14 in the books. Just like, share, rate, everything you can do. We appreciate everything and look forward to hearing more in the future.
Later, dudes. See ya.